In 1987, 17-year-old Ursula Barwick left her country hometown and moved to Sydney. The next year, she disappeared and has not been seen since.
Her aunt Diane and cousin Melissa spoke for the first time to our reporter, Marianne Harris.
I adored her. She was loud and she made sure you knew that she was there. You couldn't miss her. And she'd walk into a room and she'd fill it. The room would just be full of Ursula, and she was lovely. And Cherie, her mother, and my sister was always laughing, and there was a lot of joy.
She was adventurous and she was funny. She told great stories and jokes, and she just loved the outdoors. She was a very outdoors girl, and she was just a lot of fun.
And so begins the story of Ursula Barwick, a country girl raised in Quirindi, New South Wales. A girl whose life would eventually draw her to the big smoke, the bright lights of Sydney. Ursula's parents separated when she was young, yet she mostly remained a girl with a happy disposition who loved children. As a teen, she was adventurous, often known to rebel. After a brief stint as a nanny for a policeman's family in Sydney, she made the decision to permanently move there in September 1987.
But from my memory of the time, she did say that she was going to go and stay with some friends of hers who had moved from Quirindi to Sydney.
So young Ursula boarded a train to Sydney. Only the friends she mentioned weren't expecting her at all. Her whereabouts became a mystery.
And of course you didn't have the resources 26 years ago that you would have now, so how did you look for her?
We just didn't know what to do, so Cherie and I looked and we talked and we looked and we asked, and you couldn't get that information. You couldn't find out about people back then like you can today.
I just remember as a teenager that there seemed to be a lot of dead ends and nobody really talked about it. The media didn't talk about it. Nobody really publicly, as far as I was aware, made any acknowledgement that she'd gone missing. It was just an internal family thing.
Very little is known about Ursula's disappearance, but she seemingly made it to Sydney. Her bank account was accessed twice in the first 2 weeks she moved here, but that was all. In 1988, a year later, it's understood she approached that policeman she'd previously worked for, asking him for help. He was based in King's Cross, which gave her family a clue. Here, Diane and Melissa take a walk where Ursula was last seen.
I always imagined as a teenager that she'd ended up here. I don't know what sort of gave me those thoughts, but yes, I guess because she got on the train.
Ursula never returned for help and wasn't seen or heard from again. Her bank account remained untouched and was eventually closed by her mum. And so the years went by and Ursula's name remained on the missing persons register. Her mother Cherie died 9 years ago, not knowing whatever happened to her daughter, whether or not she met with foul play, whether she was live or dead.
I think she believed that Ursula was no longer here. And Cherie had 2 other children as well that had passed. So I think when Cherie was dying herself, she was going to them.
3 years ago, the Australian Federal Police applied age progression to the photos of 6 long-term missing people. Ursula was one, and it was this image that prompted cousin Melissa to write a fictional book about a teenage runaway with Ursula in mind.
You know, we've never had a funeral or a memorial or anything that, where you do celebrate somebody's life and remember the special things about them. We've never had any of that. So in a way, this is a way of remembering her and just keeping that memory alive.
What do you think happened?
I believe that she has died, but nobody's ever found a body, so I don't know where or when or how.
New South Wales Police are currently investigating 650 long-term missing persons cases. They say for every one missing, there are 12 others that are affected, whether that's financially, emotionally, physically or psychologically. At the end of the day, it's the fate of those missing that plagues the ones left behind.
When somebody does leave home or You always think they're going to come back. You never think that your child or your niece or your family member is going to be one of those statistics that's not going to come back for a long, long time, if ever.
If I'm completely honest, I'm not sure I really... If something awful happened to her, I'd really... It's as hard to know that as it is not to know.
And if you have any information relating to a missing person, please call Crime Stoppers on 1800 333 000. Coming up, plus-size model Robin Lawley's fashion parade of swimwear for everyone.